rings. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's getting weird out there too. See if Facebook disconnected. See if that's working again. All right, yeah, it disconnects every now and then, and I forget that I don't notice it. And X has been. I can check out. Yeah, X has been kind of well. It goes on there, but yeah, whatever. That's their deal. All right. All right. Welcome to the most suppressed channel on YouTube. One of them at least. Shadow Ban Central. Supposed to be up for my monetization. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. You never know. Do they monetize shadow ban channels? I think I have the answer for that, but you never know. I'm surprised I'm still here. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into too deep details on the World War III situation here. I guess you never know. How do you know it didn't already happen? Especially when you wake up and there's like a Joe Biden Mount Rushmore thing out there. That's the case. We just walked into hell. Then again, this is, I don't know, whatever. It's a war planet. So solar flare. Hopefully I spelled that right. Well, I got hit by a solar flare. That's for damn sure. Holy shit. I didn't know it was a solar, and I looked it up. There was an actual solar. It was an actual solar flare. I mean, it was like a water solar flare with a storm, but it was actually got hit by a solar flare. So how are the people out there? Are you flying and stuff, or going into the 20th dimension and all that? Got your laser beams going on and all that. It's like you go to this new Earth that the blow drying cult leader mentioned, the one with the cult leader with the blow dryer, telling you you're gonna get your superpowers. How's that going for you? Well, I mean, I got sick. I'm still trying to get over it. At least I can speak. I wasn't even able to speak for a while. Yeah, I was feeling kind of off Saturday. It was on and off, and then Saturday, Sunday evening, just can't. I'm not gonna put her in the camera. She'll freak out. Grab her again. Come here. Yeah, it's been downhill Sunday night, just whatever was going on energetically. And I was sleeping and getting myself back. For a while, I couldn't even speak, so this is good. Jeez. Like I would speak, but then I would cough every other word. It's like, golly. So, I haven't tried walking through walls yet or anything. I think I probably got hit by a train instead. So, of course, I didn't know about the whole Iran thing yesterday. I was connected to the Middle East stuff. I didn't realize they're going to blow us up or something like that. It's like, so you can die and go to a better place. A world without all the cult leaders and everything, soul sucking everybody. That seems to be where the grass is greener. If you write a encyclopedia of aliens and then tell everybody if you come up with anything, you're wrong. I'm the only one that's right. People seem to be okay with that, so you got yourself a religion there. It's like, gee, man, he's gone. It's like, hey, that's your choice. That's your choice. I don't know. There might be an energy split. I don't know what's going on with this place. So I don't know. Is Iran going to blow us to smithereens? They're going to do something. I mean, I'm assuming they would. It'd be kind of boring if they didn't, but we'll see. Jeez, sorry about that. I don't have my mute button on my mic. Maybe I'll do something about that. Yeah, it's been rough. Last 24 hours. Jeez. So Iran, it's hard to say. I mean, I think they're going to do something, but who knows? Maybe they'll back down because they're weak. Whatever. I mean, they got something. I mean, they're going to. what are we going to do? But that's not going to be the end of the world. We're not that lucky. We're just, we still have nonsense. We're not done with that yet, so we're not going to blow smithereens. If that was the case, we'd hopefully go to a world where there's no, Joe Biden, Mount Rushmore. Maybe go to Mars or something like that. Somewhere that's not, constant World War III nonsense. Yeah, well, anyway. And stock market energy, I feel like it's a correction. I mean, yeah, it might be politically motivated, yeah. But then the Democrats are here to save us or something like that. We'll see how that goes. I don't know, man. We'll see in November. I don't know I'm not sure if they're going to let that one go to Orange Man, so we'll see how that goes. The solar flare, yeah, that's it's obvious. It's difficult to see what's in the future of that one because it's like turbulent frequencies. I mean, it just happened that solar flares come, the end of the world, basically, sort of. We're not that lucky. That was the case. Yeah. And the stock market energies, yeah, they might play around the stock market for a little bit longer. They're not done with that. Just put a lot of scaring people, and those that obviously are profiting from this or profiting big time on this. They knew it was coming. So there's a little bit of a highway robbery thing going on there. So most likely, I think someone always sees it coming. So I think it's a housing market connected to. Of course, they're manipulating that too. So that's being artificially manipulated. Of course, you get others to manipulate it too. It happened in 2008. It's not going to happen in 2008. I don't think they can't repeat that. But I did feel some similar manipulations, but not exactly the same thing. They might just play on that, but not the same thing. They're just playing by the same rule book, kind of, not this whole. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Who cares? We just have to roll with it, and that's the biggest thing. That's the hardest part. Just don't worry about it. Enough chicken widows out there and call for civil war and nonsense. Jeez. That's sabotage account for private sessions. Scheduler at shop here. So if you're having kids and you're raising them, now's the time to raise your kids. Propaganda seems to be like I don't know if they have that in college, like professions. They have like propaganda as a profession, like CNBC or whatever, CNN, all these news people. But do they call it propaganda news agent or whatever they call it? It's like North Korea and all. We have all that here. We have our version of it. So, I mean, that seems to be the number one. They talk about like what you want to grow up and be a YouTuber. I guess that's a new thing for kids. That's not something I ever wanted. I'm just doing this because this is how you get shadow banned. I just want to be shadow banned my whole life. So, I just want others to experience it with me. God, man, this is just. It's like a bad movie here. So anyway, yeah, we just move on from all that. But yeah, propaganda shit. Yeah, that seems to be the number one. I'm not sure if that's. Imagine what Harvard has that have Bill O'Reilly. That's the propaganda chair. That should be the number one occupation out there because that doesn't mean they're not ones that can scathe over the world burning. But I think it pays well, I guess. You sell your soul. A lot of spiritual teachers sold their soul out. I have a list of that. I have a list of sellouts. I'm not going to put it out there, but I have a list of spiritual teacher sellouts. Just to say that, just to put the knife out there. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? So, because there's certain key words you can use to get people's attention, and you just manipulate it. It's constantly being manipulated. So, whatever. Hey, it's everybody. You have to lay in it eventually. Whatever. Some of us can see it, but who cares? Who cares? Not judging. Who cares? It's your deal. Yeah, this is just a job for some. I mean, literally a job. Like the planet being here is a job. It's like, jeez. Yeah, it's so world's gonna blow itself up. Not likely, but I mean, I still think Iran's gonna do something, but we'll see. If they back down, I guess they don't want to be blown out of the. I mean, they've been trying to do this forever. This has been in the works for a long time, so they all hate each other over there. So we're not only giving us part of the story, not telling us what they're really doing over there. They're both pretty much. I'm not gonna go into that, but anyway, it's here to lower the frequency. Is here, not hard to do that. So anyway, yeah, the distraction for sure. All right, so we're going to solar flare frequencies. So though some of you might got your superpowers, you might be flying in the sky right now. More power to you on that one. If you're not, not sure what you can do with that. I don't know. Just you just have to make do with what you got. It's just the way it is. It's rough. The propaganda continues. Maybe you become a propagandist. That seems to be the profession of. That seems. I mean, I don't think they have like in colleges, like they call it that. I call it a news journalist, reader, something like that. NBC, ABC. They have some name for it, but pretty much it's a propaganda machine, basically. So anyway, all right, I'll go into solar flare frequencies, and then we'll go into Iran, and you have to be careful with that one. Just do what they gotta do. It's a stock market energy. I'll go into Palladian energy for that, just to kind of soften that up, because feels like they might just talk about something else. The solar flare energy, will go into some of that. Let's see where I go. Sorry, things are good. Greens. Yeah, the solar flare frequencies. This is to go into your energies and to help you find yourself, or to move you to one timeline to the other very subtly. Some of you might feel a jolt because you're probably battling a lot here. But for majority is a changing the channel within your frequency. Have a different point of view. Nothing too dramatic for the most part. It's just like it's kind of like you're on the ride of reality, but you're at a different level. You're not being pulled into all the propaganda frequencies. Well, it depends if you're drawn to that. If you're not, you go into where we're kind of like a safe zone to some level. It doesn't mean you're out of your own problems, but you're out of the world's fallout. Not to say you're not going to be fully out of society, because humanity, the world has to do what it has to do. It has to clear a lot out. Some need to go through this darkness to wake themselves up, as you call it. Of course, the different stages of that. Doesn't mean they're going to connect to aliens and all that, but there are some, with the Iran situation. Yes, there's a lot there that are not speaking about. Maybe it's all just a show for all of you. I mean, yes, there's some realism there. Yes, take it seriously. You don't have to think too much into it. It doesn't affect you. No worries. It is there, but in the long run, it's not good, but it's like two neighbors that just hate each other and just, they just wish one would move away, like altogether. And so they kind of have to hash it out and eventually make peace is really what that's about. But obviously not everyone's up for that. Too many agendas, too much of, we'll make peace as long as we do what I want to do. And the other one's like, well, I don't think so. So they're not being fair to each other. There's no fairness at all. Obviously, It's just that it's not as easy as just taking your country and moving to another planet, because that's pretty much what they would rather do at this point. Of course, then again, who would move? It's like, Muslims like, I'm not leaving, and they'll just stay there. So it's just two neighbors that just hate each other. It's not the whole country. It's only just a small amount. Of course, it's propaganda. It's just, it's part of it's control. It's well, there's also blackmail energy connected to it at the same time. It's like, we know things about you. We haven't made it public, but we know stuff. So there's that. So of course they want to fight each other and so on. So, there's a lot of that going on too. It's basically like a soap opera. But it is good to take it seriously, but yes, you don't have to focus on it too much. As for the solar flare within your own frequency, yes, expect more to come. Well, the universe is all, yes, connected to the universe, not just the sun, but the universe itself. It's like this world has to be jolted, has to be pushed forward. And maybe not the forward that some of you are thinking, but you never know. Eventually, your world won't have currency, the money. Eventually, not yet, because society has to, connect to itself better. It needs to know itself, where it doesn't have to be told what to do. Because right now, it's still at the, it's kind of like at the dog stage. It has to be told what to do. Cats don't do what you say. The cats are like, screw off, but the dogs do what you say. And society has a lot of that still. It's still not ready to become more independent. Become independent, but connect to each other. Just to, not to say cats are perfect, but but there is a lot of telling you what to do energy here. And society is a lot you have to heal. Yes, you can blame the Anunnaki, you can blame everybody. But in the long run, society needs to come back to itself and take responsibility for itself. You can blame all these alien beings all day long. It's still, humanity still has to just, get its power back. And that's what you're doing on a very slow basis. So, blessings. What do you see with the Palladians? Stock market, yeah, it's just there to just cause a scare. But it's just a lot of backdoor trading, of course. And that will continue. Yes, a robbery. You can say that. Some are sleeping very well today. Is it politically motivated? And to some level. I mean, the politicians are just puppets in this too. They don't have the full understanding of it. Obviously, there's others that are in a boardroom that are in the shadows that are just having a blast with all of this. We're using politicians as just, as toys for society. And humanity is kind of, those of you that are not, those of you that are not going into a panic and just, kind of pulling yourself out of all the drama. You see it, but you're not getting pulled into all the infighting. And that says a lot. Just let it play itself out, clones, anything. It's good to have an open mind to all these conspiracies too, because you never know. You might not be able to tap into everything, but you feel something's not right, and that's true. There's some truth to a lot, but it's not going to be revealed. It's just like the CGI in your reality, or your movies. It's the same thing in your reality. You have a version, as some of you know that. And they just can't reveal what's real and what's fake. You can say, or is it all fake? Well, there is some realism here, but yes, there is a lot of manipulation done through alien technology that's been done to manipulate your reality. Just like I said, CGI in your reality that you'll never notice. You might see it within your presidential situation, but that was there to be noticed anyway. I mean, they want to put that person in there. So it's part of like a version of an awakening. Of course, that takes others into a whole conspiracy, black hole, basically. For some. Well, because they can't get it themselves out of that hole. They get pulled into it, but they can't seem to get their head out of it. But is this a movie? And to some level, I mean, it's a soul structure. You're actually doing a lot of work with. So some don't believe that you're doing a lot of soul. So that just shows the adolescence of an individual, not realizing you are doing a lot of soul mechanics here. Some are just, I mean, some just don't want to see it. We are doing a lot. It's rough. Yes, it's like you're working on a some of you are working on the planet. It's like working on a spaceship or something like that. It's like a moving spaceship with all this propaganda, all this crazy. And you're wondering, why did I ever sign up for this? Now, this is only some of you that signed up for just the mechanics of it. Others are enjoying the ride because they have the life, they have relationships, they have these things. But not everybody has it. Some of you are actually here to work on the ship, the experience, not to make it a smooth sailing, well, to help remove a lot of the creatures, insectoid beings, all the parasites that are here. So I think some of you understand that. It's like you're outside of reality, but you are removing all the manipulators. It's not easy. And it's just not, it's like you incarnate. It's like one thing you incarnate and work on a car or anything, it's one thing, but now you're working on a living entity that's moving through space. If you believe in space or not, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's still, a vehicle, you could say. You're still on a vessel of some kind, even if it is just an idea. Whatever. Yeah, everyone has their own points. It just makes it fascinating too. You can see it where you might feel like you're inside some kind of donut or something. Whatever you want to believe, it doesn't really matter. But still, you're still, part of your society. You're still part of some kind of reality. But some of you are working on that reality to fine tune it, improve it, and society is programmed to fight you, as some of you know, attack you. Say, hey, I'm just here to help. It's like, why do I have the whole world going after me and I'm not trying to do it? This isn't fair. So there's that going on. Some of you obviously do not see it. You're not supposed to, but some of you don't see it at all. Or some of you are doing the fighting or attacking. You'd be surprised who was out there. You'd be surprised because where is this world going into? More of a higher frequency, but maybe not how you would see it. Is basically to open up a door for a version of disclosure at some point. And maybe not how you might. It's not, and your figures that are out there that say they're going to be bringing you in and all that's most likely not. That is a version of it. Doesn't mean it's here to help you. Usually it doesn't get that much attention. For right now, you have to kind of heal yourselves currently. Of course, you're being assisted. But there are timelines where humans and alien beings do interact, but human energy has to shift for us to connect to you. You have to have some kind of spark where we can align with your frequency instead of just infighting constantly, which is a lot of that's here. Not all of it, but even those that say they are of a positive frequency have so many insecurities about themselves, are so wrapped up into relationships, they don't know where they're going. So you'd be surprised. We don't see it all, but we see a good deal here. And some of you see it, and yes, are completely frustrated with this place. And just going with it. But many of you know you are assisting the world quietly without getting too much attention, which is good. Of course, energetically, you might be getting attention, but physically, you're not getting attention, and that's good. But of course, there's others that are here to slow things down, stop it with their propagandist frequency, and there is spiritual propaganda also, of course, because you are getting closer to the astral realms, and there's beings that want to stop it, gatekeepers. It doesn't mean they'll succeed, but it shows how some people here they feel like they're ready when they aren't, and they get pulled into the wrong frequency constantly. It happens all the time. But they feel like they're stronger than they think. and then they get into wrapped up into like the hive mind of this, yes, the spiritual church frequency, the alien church energy. You see that a lot out here. Yeah. And what is that? It's just kind of, yeah, it's like you're there and you can't get out. Well, some can, but some just sit there because they think they're not really ready for all the difficulties of truly what's happening here behind the scenes. There's nothing wrong with that, because what happened behind the scenes is not what's cracked up to be, as some of you know. So blessings.